good like soul food. Parked up outside in the old school. The new me back with the OU. The dog always find his way back home, and it's so true.
It's been a while since the last time we did this, but a lot's happened since the last video. I had my exams, went to a couple of places, went to the gym here and there, got done with my exams and finally moved out of my first dorm. Anyways, now that I've moved into this new apartment with a really good friend of mine who's also quite interested in the South development, and we had like some really good plans for the summer. 75 hard was one of those plans. It's been going quite well. Some slip-ups here and there, but focusing on the bigger picture, trying to keep it sustainable and trying to be consistent with it. So this video is basically about these plans that we made for the summer and how we came about these plans to challenge ourselves and balance that with fun, how we're keeping each other accountable. So basically it all started with this book called Magic, and what this book is essentially a 28-day guide in gratitude journaling. The whole message behind this book is that if you practice gratitude every day, magical things will happen in your life. And when I first started out with this book, I wasn't so sure about it. Like, obviously, if a book is saying magical things will happen, I was a bit iffy about it. But since I started practicing it, I don't know if you would call this magical, if you would call it manifesting or how the universe works, I don't know. But I generally did see like a lot of unexpected things that happened because of this book. So I definitely recommend it to people. I put like a link to what this book is down below, but here. Anyway, so when I started reading this book, the practice for day 2 was finding this magical rock. So basically you're supposed to go out and just pick up a rock and keep that on your bedside, and then before you sleep you're supposed to hold that rock and think about like the best thing that happened during that day. Be thankful for that, be grateful for that, and then go to sleep. Yeah. Coincidentally, my friends and I had planned this like hiking, trekking trip on the same day. We went to Grouse Mountain. By the end of the trip, the water there was super cold. It was like freezing, and I managed to convince my friends to take a cold plunge into the water with me. And we were like, we're gonna do it together, or none of us are gonna do it. We took a dip into that water and we stayed there for like a couple of seconds now. I think around like 30 seconds to a minute. And I'd also got my friends onto this gratitude journaling practice. So we all had this like thing in our mind that we were going to pick up our magic rock. So when we all took a dip into the water together, we all held on to one rock, and when we came out, like that was our magic rock, and we took that like back with us. I'll show you mine's here. This was the one that I like held on to while I was in the water. You know, this whole practice could be a bit silly, but I feel like practicing gratitude is very important, and not after you've achieved or got something that you're being grateful for it, but instead you're trying to be grateful for things that you have not even achieved yet. Instead you're trying to be grateful for things that you already have. So we all took a dip in the water and we like took our magic rocks home. That night, two other friends of mine, we'd been planning for a while that we had to like start this 75-hour challenge, and we kept like postponing it. We were like, from Monday we'll start, from this day we'll start, but we never actually got around to doing it. Since we got this magic rock back from our trip, that night we all like sat together in the balcony and we had like all held on to our magic rocks, and we had like promised to our magic rocks that we will start the 75-hour challenge from the next day and we'll keep each other accountable. So that's really how we like got onto this plan and actually brought it into existence basically. Another pact that we'd made is that we'll run a half marathon together, and hopefully a marathon down the line. So those are the 2 training plans that we have. One is for the half marathon and one is in general following the 75-hour challenge. So yeah, these are the plans that we have for the summer. I'm also going to try and be more consistent with filming and trying to post and basically documenting everything we're doing. And we have a lot of other plans and things that we want to get onto YouTube and start documenting. So next video I'm going to show how we're keeping each other accountable, all these charts that we've made. And essentially what we did is that we reread the Atomic Habits book, and we basically made like a practical guide out of it to apply it into these habits that are 75 hard. And today is day 40. But when we started in the beginning, we only focus on like building systems to make like these habits easy, to make them satisfying, to make them attractive, following the lessons that are given through Atomic Habits in a more like practical way. So the next video I'll show like how we built those systems, how we're still building those systems, and yeah, just like how the whole challenge is going so far. If you're watching this video, take this as a sign to start 75 hard, or just start small, build up to the 75 hard, do 75 easy, do 75 medium, build up to 75 hard, and show this to a friend, keep each other accountable. If you want to get onto the 75 hard challenge, like I had a couple of people who messaged me. We have a WhatsApp group where sometimes we like send pictures of the workouts that we're doing and stuff. So we try to keep each other accountable that way as well. Yeah, just message me on Instagram. My socials are below, and I'll add you to that group for sure. And then yeah, thank you for watching so far. If you made it to here, okay, go on, say that.
Like, share and subscribe.
ठोको